सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्युवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। Page number 42 of your printed book. Am I audible? Yeah. तयोः श्रेयः
श्रेयः
आददानस्य साधु भवति।
आददानस्य साधु भवति।
हीयतेऽर्थात्
हीयते अर्थात्
य उप्रेयो वृणीते।
य उप्रेयो वृणीत
इति हि उक्तम्।
इति उक्तम्।
तत्कस्मात्
तत्कस्मात्
यतः।
यतः।
So this is the Bhaashyam to mantra number 4 of the second Valli of the first Adhyaya. So in your in the Gita press, it will be Vrinita instead of Vrinite. That is okay, Sandhi. And then the word he will not appear in the Gita press. Iti he uktam. So you can add he there in the Gita press. So in the last class, we studied two mantras, 2 and 3. In 1 and 2, Yamadharmaraja introduced two words called Shreyas and Preyas. And we saw the importance of the words, the meaning of those words, and how Shreyas means moksha and Preyas means the other three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama. Those two were introduced. So here, Shankaracharya is introducing this fourth mantra by asking the question which is he is referring to a statement in the first mantra. Second half of the first mantra, he is just repeating it here. Tayoho shreyaha adadanasya sadhu bhavati hiyate arthat yau preyo vrinite. That is lifted from the first mantra. He is saying, iti hi uktam. Like that it was said. Like that it was said by Yama, of course. What is the meaning of that? The meaning is, there in the first mantra, he introduced Shreyas and Preyas. Anyad Shreyaha, Anyad Utayo Preyaha. So there are two quote unquote margas available, two options available to lead a life. And among that, Shreyaha, so Tayoho Shreyaha means among those two, the one who takes to Shreyas, Sadhu Bhavati. Sadhu Bhavati means will be beneficial to that person. Whereas the one who takes to prayers, what happens? He at the arthat will be separated from those benefits, separated from the benefit that one should gain as a human being. moksha purusharthat hiyate. Like that, it was said. Here Shankaracharya is asking, tat kasma, tat, that which was said, yad uktam, tat kasma, that which was said by Yama. Why did Yama say that? Yataha means because, that is because, that is in his introduction to the second, rather fourth mantra, which we are going to read now. Why should Yama say that? Because Yama did not clarify, so that's what he's clarifying now. Okay, let's chant the fourth mantra. Pramete viparite vishuchi
नमेते विपरीते विशुचि
avidyaya cha
अविद्याया च
vidyeti jnata
विद्येति ज्ञाता
vidyabhipsinam
विद्याभिप्सिनम्
चिकेतसं मन्ये
नचिकेतसं मन्ये
नत्वा कामाः
नत्वा कामाः
बहवो लोलुपन्त.
बहवो लोलुपन्त
Again, दूरमेते विपरीते विशुचि
दूरमेते विपरीते विशुचि
अविद्याया च विद्येति ज्ञाता
अविद्याया च विद्येति ज्ञाता
विद्याभीप्सिनं नचिकेतसं मन्ये
विद्याभिप्सिनं नचिकेतसं मन्ये
नत्वा कामा बहवो लोलुपन्त.
नत्वा कामा बहवो लोलुपन्त
In the first half of this mantra, Duramete Viparite Vishuchi. Ete, Ete, these two, namely Shreyas and Preyas, Shreyas Preyasi, Ete, they are Duram. They are Duram. Means what? They are different, far apart. They're far apart. Further, they are Viparite. Viparit hai ye dono. Viparit. Viparit means they're opposites also. Not only they're far apart, they're opposites. They can never come together. Okay. And then Vishuchi. Vishuchi, they're divergent. You think they are similar, but then they keep on diverging. Their paths are divergent. They never meet. Okay, Vishuchi. And you know why? And that's because avidya. One is called avidya. Yama calls prayers as avidya. Okay, straight away. He doesn't say like avidya and all that. No, like and all. Like chodo. This is avidya. Period. Yacha vidya iti jnata. It is known by wise people, jnata, as what? Avidya and vidya. You can also call prayers, if you don't like those words, prayers and shreyas, you can also call them avidya and vidya. That is what he's saying. Means what? So we have to understand. We have to go back. So this I explained in the last weekend's session also. Dharma, artha, kama is there. And then moksha is there. This is where understanding the fundamental problem becomes very important. So before we, in our tradition, especially Puja Swamiji, his greatness was in explaining what the problem is. We have to understand what the problem is. Is there a problem, first of all? This question we have to ask. Once that problem is clear, then the solution will just fall in our lap like this. This is how I felt when I was studying. And so, what is the problem? So, dharmartha kama we saw. These are all pursuits which require a person to make an effort, wait for some time, and then there will be results that we want. Okay? This is how dharmartha kama always is. And nothing wrong with that per se, because that's how things are. Artha is like that, Kama is like that, Dharma also is like that. Prayatnam, Kalaha, Daivaha. These three are required for the accomplishment of anything. Effort by the human being. Kalaha, things don't happen instantaneously. You have to wait. Do it, Kalaha. So time, give it some time. And everything needs time. Some things need a lot more time. Other things can happen just like that. So you have to cook for if I have to have a breakfast, okay, I can put something together in half an hour or less. But if I want a degree, bachelor's degree, it will take 4 years. I want to go to school, it will take another 10 years. I mean, prior to bachelor's, so all these things take time. So depending on what I want, I have to wait it out. Kala. Prayatnaha, I have to work for it. Kalaha, I have to wait for it, wait for what I want. And Daivam, third aspect is Daivam. These two alone not enough, my dear friend. Daivam is enough. So be acknowledge the fact that you're able to put an effort and acknowledge the fact that you will get what you want. And there are so many unknown factors. You can only take care of the known factors. The unknown factors is all called what? It is Daivam. For us, Daivam is the unknown aspect. Okay, known aspect also is Daivam, really speaking. But for now, unknown aspect is Daivam. Okay? These three are required. So, Dharmartha Kama is like that. Prayatna Kala, Prayatna Kala, Prayatna Kala. And then on top of that, our Shastram says not only do you have Dishta Phalam, not only are you going to get what you are seeking, then there is something called Adrishta Phalam. Punyam and Papam also is there. You might be able to get away from the law of this land, this Bhuloka, and some things you cannot get away in America, but in India you can get away also. But then Shastram says, if it doesn't catch up with you here, the karma will catch up with you. Okay, that also Shastram says. Therefore, everybody has an account, karma account, which has to get exhausted. And the way to get exhausted is to 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 be born again in another upadhi. That is the only way for karma to get exhausted. That is why a jiva can be born as an animal also, Shastram says. Because that is the only way to exhaust one particular karma that is there in the Sanchita karma of that jiva. So this is the idea. And so this is, if somebody asks, wait a minute, how is this? Is there no end to this? If somebody asks, when I exhaust all my Sanchita karma, then I will get moksha. That is one theory. Very clear, right? Quantified, right? So I have so much in the bank. How do I exhaust all this debt? How do I exhaust? If you means once I return all the money, principal, little by little, month after month, year after year, then the debts are all gone. So that time I'm free, like that. This is a thinking which works well in our Laukika samsara because it's all finite quantity. Finite quantity, this argument works. But the Sanchita karma is not finite. This is the only problem. Not finite. In a given life, I can only exhaust finite karma. Therefore, our Shastram says, one more beautiful thing is there. If you think this world is Satyam, then you have no choice but to exhaust all the karma. But the world is not Satyam. You think you're a Karta, but Shastram says fundamentally Atma is Akarta. You think you are insecure, Atma is fundamentally secure. You think you're born and you're going to die and then you're going to born again, etc. Atma is Achaha, unborn. And that unborn Atma is you. That is your nature. I have confused myself with this body. And the body is constantly changing. Therefore, I think I am changing. I'm born and I'm going to die shortly. This is my idea. Every Jiva's idea is that. Shastram says this is a mistake. That is how we got into the study of this Veda. Okay. Therefore, mistake. That word you take mistake. So this dharma artha kama pursuit is resting on a mistake, on a mistaken conclusion about myself. That mistaken conclusion is called what? Avidya or Ajnanam. So, Yama is going to tell, hey, this Praya Marga is equal to Avidya. Why? Because Avidya, because of that ignorance, I take myself to be insecure. And because of that, I have Kama. And because of that, for me, that Kama means both Artha Kama, everything Kama. I have a desire to be secure. And Kama, Avidya, Kama, then I have to do something. Prayatna, Kala, Daivam. I have to do something. Therefore, karma is action. Action karma, then karma phalam is automatic after that. Karma phalam is there means punarjanma is going to be there. Therefore, punarjanma, then ajnanam, kama, karma, karma phalam, punarjanma, kama, ajnanam is there, kama, and then so on and so forth. Underlying this cycle is one big thing called avidya. Avidya is what perpetuates this cycle, is the oxygen for this cycle, is the fuel for this cycle. Not difficult to understand. This is Advaita Vedanta. That's why Advaita Vedanta is actually quite simple. Once we understand this, we're clear about these basics. We can't ignore the basics. I want to study all these things, but then I don't know the basics. Means all these things will simply be a bunch of words. Bunch of words. We are not here to become scholars in all these texts. We can become scholars. That is not a problem. But we must be crystal clear. One text is enough for us to become crystal clear. We don't have to memorize anything, nothing. But if we can memorize, that is also great. Okay. So that clarity is critical. And so Yama is saying prayers is equal to avidya. And therefore, what is moksha marga? Moksha. Moksha, because it is the nivritti of avidya, removal of avidya, by recognizing my true nature and by understanding this Mahavakya, which says as not only I am Ajaha and Avinashi and Nityam, Ishvara's nature also is my nature. The wave can say, I am water. Wave can look at the ocean and say, hey ocean, how are you? You are also water, I am also water. And I have a upadhi, different upadhi. You have a bigger upadhi, bigger responsibility. So you better take care of everybody, okay? And so give me a progress update after a year. Come back. Like that, the wave can tell the ocean, and game is over after that. So that is what Vidya. Yama says that is Vidya. So that is the reason he is using these two words here. Avidya, Yaja, Vidyeti, Jnata. Praise and Shreyas as two words. Okay, don't worry about the words. You already know Vidya and Avidya. Therefore, if you just replace praise by Avidya, replace Shreyas by Vidya. That is what he's saying here. Vidya Bhips, second sentence. Okay. Previous sentence, he said, Yasyam Majjanti, I mean, previous mantra, Yasyam Majjanti Bahavaha Manushya. In that prayer marga, people are just enjoying, you can say. People are lost also, and they don't know that that is going to be a continuous journey. And so, here, what about Nachiketa? He's going to say, Hey Nachiketa, Nachiketasam Vidya Bhipsinam Manye. Vidya Bhipsinam means Vidyarthinam. I consider Nachiketa to be a Vidyarthi, means somebody who wants Vidya. Vidya Artha Yasya Saha iti Vidyarthi. One who desires to know, that person is called a Vidyarthi. Then what? Natva Kamaha Bahavaha Alolupanta. Bahavaha Kamaha. Many goodies I gave you. So many things I gave you. And Twa means Twam. Na Alolupanta. They never tempted you. You never got tempted by the kamas, the objects of desire that I offered you. Nothing attracted you. That's what he's saying. He's praising Nachiketa. He's in contrast to the people in the previous mantra. Yeah. That's the gist of this mantra. Am I audible? Okay. Let us chant the Bhaashyam. Duram durena
दूरं दूरेण
mahatantarena
महतान्तरेण
ete viparite
एते विपरीते
अन्योन्य vyavruttarupe
अन्योन्यव्यावृत्तरूपे
विवेक अविवेकात्मकत्वात्
विवेक अविवेकात्मकत्वात्
तमः प्रकाशौ इव
तमः प्रकाशौ इव
विशूचे
विशूची
विशूच्यौ नानागति
विशूच्यौ नानागती
भिन्नफले
भिन्नफले
संसार मोक्ष हेतु संसार मोक्ष हेतुत्वेन
संसारमोक्षहेतुत्वेन
इत्येतत्
इत्येतत्
so duram ete viparite vishuchi. That's what he is explaining here. Duram durena mahat antarena ete. So ete means these two shreyas and prayers are duram. Ete duram staha. So you want to put a word there, verb staha. They are far apart, means they are two different things. There is no connection between these two. Any number of examples you can give. So they are different, okay? And then viparite also, they are opposites, okay? They are opposites, and Shankaracharya says anyonya vyavritta rupe, mutually contradictory, okay? And then what? Why? Viveka aviveka atmakatvat. Atmaka means nature, swabhavaha, of the nature, because the shreyas and prayers is of the nature of viveka and aviveka. Means what? Viveka, we know what it is. Atma anatma viveka, atma anatma bhedaha viveka, bheda jnanam viveka. So the difference between atma and anatma is crystal clear to me. That clarity is viveka. Aviveka is lack of clarity. I never have to ask the question about life. I think everything is the way it is, and then I keep moving on, which is okay in its own way. It's all right, but this cycle is not going to stop. And therefore he says, because it is of the nature of shreyas, is of the nature of viveka, and prayas is of the nature of aviveka, absence of discernment, absence of understanding what's what. Okay. And iva, like what? Tamah prakashau iva. If you want an example, Shankaracharya said it is like darkness and light, darkness and brilliance, darkness and brightness. Brightness. If you can imagine these two, how opposite they are, and the fact that they are mutually contradictory. Where there is darkness, there cannot be light. Where there is light, there cannot be darkness. That is the example he is giving. And then he's saying Vishuchi, Vishuchiao. Okay, Vishuchiao he's saying because Vishwanch is a root, Vishuchi is Ekavachana, singular, so Bhashyakara is putting it in dual. Dvivachanam Vishuchyau. And then what is the meaning of Vishuchyau? Nana Gati. Nana. Nana is a oft used word in our Vedanta Shastra. Nana means many, many. Many Gati. Nana. No connection with Nana of Telugu. Telugu Nana is father. Okay. And so Nanagaru, not that Nanagaru. Nana is different. It means Nana Gati. Many different destinations, many different courses, many different, so many different things you can get in that Preyo Margaha. You can always ask the question, what shall we eat today? Where shall we go today? Where shall we go for vacation today? Which country do you want to settle down in? Okay. All these are questions possible these days. Those days, I don't know if they ask those questions. Which country do you want to go to and all that. These days, we have that option also. Which planet do you want to go to also? They may start asking later. I don't know what America's plans are. And so, Nana Gati. And then, which means what? Bhinna Pale. Shankaracharya is saying. Bhinna Pale. Phalam, the result of prayer, the effort in the prayers versus the result of jnanam are two different things. Why they are two different? Because in one case I get karma phalam, and phalam itself means phalgudaya liyate iti phalam, which means it is anityam. That which perishes is called phalam. It is so sad. That which perishes is called phalam. And that is why I know very well that whatever I get, eventually I will lose it. Means it will dissipate. I have to keep working on it again and again. And even these people, these IT people who get their degrees, in bachelor's, master's, IT, and all that, they say they're constantly studying. I thought we Vedantins are the ones who are constantly studying. But these people also study. What are you doing? New programming languages come up. Just they have to study, keep up. Java, they have to keep on reading. Then something plus plus, C plus plus, then some Lisp, then some Perl, and then something like this. They keep on studying. There's no end to it. How I know it? Because I go by bus and to office I used to do that. And a lot of Indians are there. This is in America, and they're sitting next to me and they're studying these books. Then I talk with them, and so this is what they'd say. No, Jaykumar, we have to keep up with these things. Otherwise, we become out of, uh, you know, otherwise we find it difficult. So, like that they say. And continuing education credits and continuing education and all this. Studying is always good. I like that part of it. But with Phalam, what happened to all those things, exams you passed, in college and all programming and all that you did? Yeah, that's all gone. There's no Fortran and C and all that. Yeah, those languages nobody taught. Nobody even knows about those languages. We used to do Fortran and all that. Very proudly, we used to go to the computer science building and then give all these programs. Those days, no computer. So there used to be a mainframe computer. We were given cards, like a postcard. There used to be a card. Okay, how many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so about half the class is raising their hands. Okay, they used to give all these cards, and then you could write a program, but every month we had a quota, like 50 cards or 100 cards we were getting. So, and that means each card is one line of code, and so you could I don't know what I did, and maybe with a pencil I wrote down my program, and then you have to go to the computer center, you have to type it somewhere, I think, and then each line is punched in the card, and the card reader will be there. The computer will have a card reader, and it will read that punched card and understand the line I've written, and then it will do whatever it does, and then you are supposed to get an output, the result of the program. Let's say a simple program where you want to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a vertical line. That's a simple program. And then what happens? Some error is there in the code. Then after 2 days, we are disappointed because the error comes. Then you wonder, my God, today it's not like that. Today it's not. Instantaneously, you can find out what's going on. You just type and finish it off. So that is how it was. Anyway, bhinna pale means obviously different results. This is anityam prayas. Then shreyas is what? That's why shreyas is not a phalam. The result of knowledge, even though sometimes we call jnana phalam. What do we say? Jnanameva mokshaha. Jnanameva moksha. Knowledge is moksha. How? The minute the guy understands that I am seeking glasses and my God, I am the possessor of the glasses. What am I seeking over? That minute, moksha. That's it. Therefore, jnanameva moksha. Okay, therefore, bhinna phale, nitya phalam, nityam. That is anityam. Then, samsara moksha hetutvena iti. Because they are of the nature of samsara and moksha. One causes samsara. Shankaracharya is saying this dharmartha kama moksha perpetuates samsara. There is no end to it. Samyak sarati iti samsara. Means the guy just keeps on going, it seems. Like that Duracell or some battery, they say keeps on going. That bunny tick, 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 keeps on beating, it seems. And so like that, this guy does. So samsara versus moksha. Therefore, they are vishuchi. Okay, now let's read the next quarter. के ते इति उच्यते
के ते इति उच्यते
या च
या च
अविद्या प्रेयो विषया
अविद्या प्रेयो विषया
विद्या इति च
विद्या इति च
श्रेयो विषया
श्रेयो विषया
ज्ञाता
ज्ञाता
निर्ज्ञाता अवगता पंडितैः
निर्ज्ञाता अवगता पंडितैः
तत्र
तत्र
विद्या
विद्या
अभीप्सिनम्
अभीप्सिनं
विद्यार्थिनम्
विद्यार्थिनं
नचिकेतसम्
नचिकेतसं
त्वाम् अहं मन्ये.
त्वाम् अहं मन्ये.
Yeah. So Shankaracharya here is asking the question. Ke te. What are those two? What are those two? So we know what those two are, right? We know they are Shreyas and Preyas. But he's saying, because Yama has not explained what these two is, therefore he's asking once again, Ke te. What are those two? Iti uchyate is being said. And what is that? Yacha avidya preyo vishaya. They are what? Avidya, which Shankaracharya is saying, preyo vishaya. Now we know that. Avidya is related, is the topic of prayers, is the essence of prayers, preyo vishaya. And vidya iti cha shreyo vishaya. And what is vidya? It is shreyo vishaya. Okay. Jnata, nirjnata, avagata, panditaihi. So remember here. So there is a lot of explanation required, right? Why Shreyas is called Vidya, why Preyas is called Avidya. I already explained it to you. So that explanation has to be brought here. Okay. Shankaracharya has not explained. He assumes we understood, we understand that. Okay. Then Vidya iti cha Shreyo Vishaya. Of course, Jnata is understood is equal to Nirjnata Avagata. Shreyas is understood as Vidya. Prayas is understood as Avidya. By whom? Panditaihi. Panditaihi. By people who know this. Obviously, those who are knowledgeable in this matter, they, by them, this is how they understand it. And Shreyas means what? Praise. Praise, the translation of praise. It's interesting. Pleasurable. Last time I might have said. Praise means pleasurable. That which is attractive, delectable. You can't just say no to that. Praise. And then Shreyas is what? If Shreyas is pleasurable, then what about Shreyas? Not pleasurable or what? Makes you sad? No. Preferable. Preferable. That is how they translate. Shreyas is beneficial. Prayas is pleasurable and perpetuates samsara. Then what? Tatra Vidyabhipsinam. Vidyabhipsinam. So is equal to Vidyarthinam. Vidyabhipsinam means one who is desirous of Vidya. And that person is also called a Vidyarthi. Therefore, and Maniprabha says Jnanarthi. All that is fine. Jnanarthinam. Nachiketasam tvam aham manye. Tvam. Nachiketasam is the moolam. And then Shankaracharya says tvam. Because Yama is talking. Yama is saying. So, Yama is saying, I consider Nachiketa to be a Vidyarthi. And Nachiketasam has to be tvam. None other than you. Okay. Manye. Janami. I know Nachiketasa. Nachiketas to be desirous of knowledge means Shreyo Margaha. You have come here to ask me about Shreyas. That is what he is saying. Okay. Let's continue this Bhaashyam. Kasmat,
कस्मात्
Yasmat,
यस्मात्
Avidvat,
अविद्वत्
Buddhi Pralobhinaha,
बुद्धिप्रलोभिनः
Kamaha,
कामाः
Apsarah Prabhutayaha,
अप्सरः प्रभृतयः
Bahavopi,
बहवो अपि
Tvam na alolupanta.
त्वां न अलोलुपन्त
न विच्छेदं कृतवन्तः
न विच्छेदं कृतवन्तः
श्रेयो मार्गात्
श्रेयो मार्गात्
आत्म उपभोग अभिवाञ्छ
आत्म उपभोग
अभिवाञ्छा
अभिवाञ्छा
सम्पादनेन
सम्पादनेन
अतः
अतः
विद्यार्थिनं
विद्यार्थिनं
श्रेयोभाजनं
श्रेयोभाजनं
मन्ये इति अभिप्रायः.
मन्ये इति अभिप्रायः.
Is continuing the Bhaashyam, explaining the fourth part of this mantra. Third quarter, what did he say? I consider you to be desirous of this knowledge, this Brahma Vidya, this knowledge you want. It's very clear. Okay. Why? Kasmat. Why? Why is that he's saying? Yasmat. Yeah, Yasmat. Because what? He's going to say Bahavaha Kamaha na alolupant. All these things, goodies I gave you, they never tempted you. That's what he's saying, right? So, alolupanta. Alolupanta means what? Shreyo margat vichedam kritavantaha. Alolupanta means loop. Loop is to attract, okay? And low loop is the verb there, and it's to attract. They never attracted you. Okay, means what? They did not take you away from Shreyo Marga. Shankaracharya is saying. Well, how do you understand attraction? And so, attraction, that's why this is very important, the way he's saying, right? It doesn't mean you should give up all your likes and dislikes. It means you take whatever you want. But what is your goal? My goal is Shreyo Margaha. Therefore, Shreyo Margat Vichedam na Kritavanta. Did not separate you from Shreyo Marga. Okay? Because the minute you take all these things, then, especially when I don't have, then it is, I will get deeply entrenched in that. There are kings like Janaka who are kings, okay, who are governing a big kingdom. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says they are all jnanis. So jnani does not mean will withdraw from all activity. Activity and knowledge are not opposed to each other. for a jnani. So a jnani can continue to do whatever karma based on the prarabdha karma. That person may end up becoming a king also. Okay, so just FYI. Therefore, vichedam na kritavantaha. And what did not take you away from Shreya Marga? Bahavaha kamaha, bahavaha api kamaha. And what are these kamaha? Apsaraha prabhritayaha. Shankaracharya keeps repeating that. So all these apsaras and all these attractions from the other worlds and attractions in this world also both. And apsara, etc. Prabhritayaha means etc. Okay, apsara, etc. Those are the kamas. And what are these kamas? Shankaracharya is giving a very interesting word here. Avidvad buddhi pralobhinaha kama. Those things which will attract people who do not have viveka. Avidvad buddhi means what? Aviveka buddhi. And those who don't have viveka, they will automatically go towards these things. There's no chance of any human being saying no to this. That means what? You have viveka. Because only a viveka buddhi can say no to something like this. Okay? And then he is giving another word. Atma upabhoga abhivancha sampadane. Shankaracharya is just amazing. He's saying, uh, how will one get separated from Shreya Marga? You'll get separated by gaining a desire for Atma Upabhoga, for enjoyments. Atma Upabhoga Abhivancha. Abhivancha means desire, longing. It will fuel that longing in me. Everybody has longing for things, and if the minute I have longing for things, the craving is there. In advertisements, they say it will satisfy your craving for something, whatever that something they want to do that. So then you look at that and say, yeah, okay, this is exactly what I want because I also have that craving, like that. So Atma Upabhoga Abhivancha Sampadanena, by fueling that cravings that I have, Atma Upabhoga, okay, na kritavantaha, it did not separate you from Shreyo Margaha. Which Swamiji says, it did not even create a ripple in Nachiketa. Ripple. Ripple means just this boy did not even for a second did not think that that's what he wanted. That's what Puja Swamiji says in this Bhaashyam. Ataha vidyarthinam shreyo bhajanam manye. Therefore, I consider you to be a vidyarthi, desirous of knowledge, and which also means what? Shreyo bhajanam. Bhak. You are the receptacle. You are a patram. You are the right person for taking into this Shreyo Margaha, Shreyo Bhajanam, Iti Abhiprayaha. That is the purport, that is the implication of what Yama is saying. You are a Vidyarthi. You are ready to study. Ityarthaha.
Guruji, can you repeat Upabhoga meaning one more time? Sorry.
Upabhoga. Upabhoga means kamas, enjoyments. Okay. Abhivancha means a desire, craving for those enjoyments. Abhivancha. Okay. And Atma Upabhoga means self-enjoyments. Obviously, for Atma. Atma here does not mean Sachidananda Atma. It means for the self, enjoyments for the self. Okay. Sampadanam means gaining of those kamas. It's called Sampadanam. So he did not do that. That's what he's saying. It did not attract you. Na alolupanta.
Can you also
Alolupanta.
repeat for Shreyo
Alolupanta.
Bhajanam?
Huh?
Shreyo Bhajanam also, can you repeat?
Yeah. Shreyo bhajanam. So bhak. Bhak means a patram for, a receptacle of, a container of, right? And you are a Shreya Bhak means you are ready to take to this path of Shreyas. Ready to take this path of Shreyas. Because Bhak means Patram. Earlier he used the word Bhak. Kamanam Kamabhajam Karobi. Yeah. So that same Bhak is used here. So you are qualified. The final meaning is what? Shreya Bhajanam means you are qualified for Shreyas. That is the name. So summary of this mantra is what? Shreyas and prayers give different benefits. Bhinnapale, and because they are of the nature of avidya and vidya. Okay, that is the reason he is giving. Yama is given, and we understand it. And then what about Nachiketa? All these people are going after praise. What about Nachiketa? Nachiketa is a Shreyo Bhak. He is a Vidyarthi. That is the meaning here. Which means the Yama is setting this up for the remaining teaching to happen. And for us to understand the qualifications required for this Brahma Vidya, correct? From these statements, for us, what we learn is the Adhikaritvam, Vivekam, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi, Mumukshutvam, etc. is needed. And so that Viveka aspect is brought out here. Let's look at the Anvaya. Avidya Vidya Cha. Avidya Vidya Cha iti ya jnata. Iti ya, within brackets, you can put Panditaihi jnata. Iti ya Panditaihi jnata. Ete duram viparite vishuchi cha staha. Ete duram viparite vishuchi cha staha. The cha and staha in brackets. Staha because ete is dvivachana. Full stop. Next, within brackets, aham Nachiketasam Vidyabhipsinam Manye. Aham Nachiketasam Vidyabhipsinam Manye. Aham Nachiketasam Vidyabhipsinam Manye, comma, within brackets, Yasmat, because Yasmat, I consider Nachiketa to be a Vidyarthi because Yasmat, Bahavaha Kamaha Twa Na Alolupanta. Yasmat Bahavaha Kamaha Twa Na Alolupanta. So let's repeat that. Avidya Vidya Cha Iti Ya Panditaihi Jnata, comma, Yete Duram Viparite Vishuchi Cha Staha. Full stop. Aham Nachiketasam Vidyabhipsinam Manye. Yasmat within brackets, Bahavaha Kamaha Twa Na Alolupanta.
You want to Vidyabhipsinam Nachiketasam aham manye, he says. Then
Yes.
he switches over to second person, Tom.
Right.
So first he says as Nachiketas as a third person. Then he switches over to second person.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. ये तु
ये तु
संसारभाजनाः
संसारभाजनाः
अविद्यायामन्तरे
अविद्यायामन्तरे
वर्तमानाः
वर्तमानाः
स्वयं धीराः
स्वयं धीराः
पंडितं मन्यमानाः
पंडितं मन्यमानाः
दन्द्रम्यमाणाः
दन्द्रम्यमाणाः
करेक्ट दन्द्रम्यमाणाः
दन्द्रम्यमाणाः
पर्यन्ति मूढाः
पर्यन्ति मूढाः
अन्धेनैव नीयमानाः
अन्धेनैव नीयमानाः
यथान्धाः
यथान्धाः
Once again अविद्यायामन्तरे वर्तमानाः
अविद्यायामन्तरे वर्तमानाः
स्वयं धीराः पंडितं मन्यमानाः
स्वयं धीराः पंडितं मन्यमानाः
दन्द्रम्यमाणाः पर्यन्ति मूढाः
दन्द्रम्यमाणाः पर्यन्ति मूढाः
अन्धेनैव नीयमाना यथान्धाः
अन्धेनैव नीयमाना यथान्धाः
அதை மூடிடு நல்லாவே மூடிடு So in contrast to, and whenever you see the word to, it means what? On the other hand, ye samsara bhajanaha. Previous one is what? Nachiketasam manye, vidyabhipsinam manye, shreyo bhajanam nachiketasam manye, correct? Therefore, here what? Samsara bhajanam, samsara bhajanaha means those who are, can we say, fit for samsara? Those who are samsaris, those who are after dharma, artha and kama, those people. On the other hand, what about them is what Yama is telling next. Okay. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha. So, knowing that prayas is equal to avidya from the previous mantra, so they are vartamanaha, they remain in this avidya dasha, avidya vasha. They don't know that they don't know. They not only don't know, but they don't know that they don't know. And so, Adhyaya mantare vartamanaha. Not only that, I think you understand this very well, right? Swayam dhiraha panditam manyamana. They also tell you that what's wrong with you people at a young age, you're all studying Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. Don't you have anything better to do? A lot of interesting things are happening in the stock market. And so you ought to be focused on that. Okay. And tell me, come to me. Okay. After this class, I'll tell you everything about that. So, Swayam Dhiraha, you ought to be listening to us. Okay. Like that, he says. Those people say, it seems. Yama is making it clear. We are not saying it. Yama is telling it. Okay. I don't know how Yama knows what's all going on in Bhuloka, but he seems to know everything. Seems to know. And then Dandramya Manaha Pariyanti Mudaha. These people are called Mudaha. Mudaha doesn't mean foolish and all that. Mudaha means ignorant. That's all. Ignorant about this particular fact. It doesn't, in other areas, they're all very intelligent people, but in this matter, they are called Mudhaha. Pariyanti Dandramya Manaha. They are carried away by all this Dharmartha Kama. And so it is so variegated, it is so fantastic, it is so many things to do and see and get lost in. Dandramya Manaha. Okay. Like what? Yama is giving us an example also. Okay. Andhenaiva niyamanaha yathandaha. Yatha andaha niyamana. Just as blind people are led by the blind. That's it. We don't need to give an explanation here. Shankaracharya is going to give an explanation. Okay. So we will see that in the Bhaashyam. So this is what Yetu. In contrast to those Shreyorthinaha, Vidyarthinaha, Jnanarthinaha, in contrast to those people, Shreyo Marga Bhipsinaha, Vidya Bhipsinaha, that is a contrast. Okay, good. Avidyayamantare
विद्यायामन्तरे
मध्ये घनीभूते इव
मध्ये घनीभूते इव
तमसि वर्तमानाः
तमसि वर्तमानाः
वेष्ट्यमानाः
वेष्ट्यमानाः
पुत्रपश्वादितृष्णा पाशशतैः
पश्वादितृष्णापाशशतैः
स्वयं वयं धीराः
स्वयं वयं धीराः
प्रज्ञावन्तः
प्रज्ञावन्तः
पण्डिताः
पण्डिताः
शास्त्रकुशलाः
शास्त्रकुशलाः
च इति मन्यमानाः.
च इति मन्यमानाः.
Yeah, we'll put a full stop there. Ita press, there is no full stop. So this avidyayam, avidya is akaranta strilinga. So avidyayam, saptami ekavachana. Okay, avidyayam antare, antare Shankaracharya says madhye. In the middle of, means in the world of avidya, ghani bhute iva. Ghani bhute iva. Ghani is ghana, means dense. Ghani bhute iva tamasi. Tamas here is darkness. Just like in pitch darkness, they say pitch darkness. Pitch darkness. Shankaracharya. Vidyayam Antare. It's pitch dark. And what can you do when you're in pitch dark? You can do, because Karta is there anyway. Karta is there. And I can worry a lot in pitch darkness. That minimum I can do that. Okay. But I can also go around. I can also do stuff carefully. I can do whatever. But then I'll be lost basically. I'll be just, I'm not in my real self, real sense at all. But then I'll keep on doing. I have no choice because it's pitch dark. And so Ghani Bhute Tamasi Iva Vartamanaha. Vartamanaha is the moolam. So Vartaman, Vartamana Kalaha is there. So present tense. So present means they are being in that being. Vartamana means being, remaining in that avidya dasha, avidya vasha. Okay. And Shankaracharya is saying Veshtyamana. Veshtyamana. Okay. See, in Tamil language, there is a word called Veshti. Veshti means dhoti. Dhoti is meant to surround ourselves. So Shankaracharya is saying this fellow is just quite surrounded by this avidya. This world of avidya is surrounded him. He is trapped in this avidya, samsara, trapped in samsara, right? And Shankaracharya further explains by what? What are you trapped by? Putra Pashwadi Trishna Pashashate. Children, Pashu means literal meaning is animals. So you can put anything, assets, all assets I want. All the assets I want, all resources I want to lead my life and more. Okay. And more. Adi, etc. Pashwadi, etc. Trishna, Pasha Shataihi. Desire for that. Not only I want, I desire. The key is desire. Okay. See, Shankaracharya is careful. The Trishna, the craving for it, that is what does me in. Because anyway, the body needs a few things. It needs full shelter of clothing. Shankaracharya does not deny that. Even Shankaracharya had food, by the way. For 32 years he lived, he also had food. But for him, food was not the goal in life. He ate whatever is needed. That's all. Okay. So therefore, Putra Pashwadi Trishna. And this desire is what? It's a pasha. Pasha means it's a trap. It's like a noose, It is pulling me, it's pulling me. I'm bound by that pasha of this Trishna for Pashu and Putra. Okay. Putra means children, family, everything is implied by the word Putra. So family and non-family things. I need family, and then I need things outside the family also. Those are what is described here. Pasha Shataihi. And like this, there are hundreds of things that bind me, bind those who are in avidya, okay, those who are samsaris. Then what? Then you can put this in quotes. This swayam vayam dhiraha, etc. All the way till iti manyamana. Before iti, you can end quotes, inverted commas. Okay, it's all in quotes, quotation. Swayam dhiraha panditaha manyamanaha. That is the moolam. That is the second quarter of the mantra. And Shankaracharya is explaining. Swayam, Shankaracharya says, quotes, no? So Vayam. Vayam means we. It's not difficult. See how beautiful it is. This whole thing becomes very easy for us. Swayam Vayam. Who are we? We are dhiraha. We are dhiraha. Prajnavantaha. We have prajna, means we have intelligence. We are all intelligent people. We are all very intelligent people. And also called panditaha. And see, panditaha, Shankaracharya is differentiating now. See, already dhiraha means intelligent people. So Shankaracharya wants to give a different meaning to the word panditaha. He's saying shastra kushalaha. See, intelligent does not mean I know the shastra. I can be intelligent, but I know nothing about the Vedas. What is this Vedika Dharma? Nothing I need to know. But then he's saying Shastra Kushalaha. Okay? We know all about the Shastra. Are you saying you are studying Upanishad? Don't worry about that. We know all about it. We know everything. And so like that he says. And see, this the minute you look at this, okay. Shastra Kushalaha. So immediately it should take you to Bhagavad Gita.
Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We are Shastra Kushalaha. All this Brahma Vidya and all, you guys are getting lost. You're all confused people. You have a lot of time to kill. So you can sit and
Pushpidam,
Sambandhinaha.
yamimam pushpidam vajam.
correct. Kamatmana Swarga Paraha Janma Karma Phala Pradam Kriya Vishesha Bahulam Bhoga Ishwarya Gatim Prati. One shloka before that. Okay? One shloka before that. What is that?
Yamimam pushpidam vajam.
Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham Pravadanti Avipaschitaha Veda Vadarataha Partha Nanyadastiti Vadinaha. So this is in the second chapter. You can look it up. Pushpitam Vacham. They speak flowery words, it seems. Krishna is saying this. Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham Pravadanti Avipaschitaha. These ignorant people, these people who think they are dhiraha, they say Veda Vadarataha Partha. They are Shastra Kushalaha. Veda Vadarataha. They talk a lot about Vedas. You wonder, you get an inferiority complex. My God, they know so much. I never studied all these things. And then Veda Vadarataha na anyadasti iti vadina. There is nothing other than this. Means what? Nothing other than doing your Vaidika karma and going to heaven. Going to heaven. They're all. That's why kamatmanaha. These people have all kinds of desires, and they're saying the desires on this world is just limited desires. You can go to if you want, you can go to America and Canada and come back. Canada, go to Canada, say hello to Premaji, and then you can do all that stuff. But then, okay, you can do all that. See all your friends everywhere, and we will say hello and everything. We can see Niagara Falls and Colorado, this, that, etc. But then you know what? Even these Vedas, they're Vedarathas are intelligent people. They say, so what if you go to Niagara Falls? Have you gone to Swarga? If Niagara Falls itself is so beautiful, imagine how life will be in Swargaloka. That is what they say. Then you say, yeah, correct. You're right. Yeah. So what? What should you do? Kamat manaswarga paraha. There are people who are after their eyesight is on Swarga. Their eyes are clean on Swarga, therefore they're using the Karma Kanda to their benefit, and they will get it, of course, because Shastram says you will get it. They're right in their own way. That Shastra Kushala, Veda Vaharatha. Okay, go back to Bhagavad Gita there. Okay. Okay, so Panditaha is equal to Shastra Kushalaha, Dhiraha is equal to Prajnavantaha, and then Laukika Jnaninaha. Right? We can't say Jnaninaha, we have to say Laukika Prajnavantaha. Worldly wise they are. Worldly wise they are. Okay, let's read the next one. Dandramyamana. The second half is going to be explained by Shankaracharya. Te Dandramyamanaha.
Te dandramyamanaah
Atyartham Kutilam.
atyartham kutilam
Aneka Rupam
anekarupam gatim
Gachantaha
gacchantah
Jara Marana Rogadi Dukkaihi
jara marana rogadi dukkhaihi
Pariyanti Parigachanti
pariyanti parigachanti
Mudhaha
मूढाः
Avivekinaha
अविवेकिनः
Andhenaiva
अन्धेनैव
Drishti Vihinenaiva
दृष्टिविहीनेनैव
Niyamanaha
नीयमानाः
Vishame Pathi
विषमे पथि
Yatha Bhavondhaha
यथा बहवोन्धाः
Mahantam Anartham Richanti Tadvat.
महान्तम् अनर्थं ऋच्छन्ति तद्वत्.
Second half being explained. Further, besides Panditam Manyamanaha, Dhiraha, okay, besides that, further, there are other people, there's something else. They're called, they are what? Yama is saying they are Dandramyamanaha. Shankaracharya is explaining that Atyartham Kutilam Aneka Rupam Gatim Gachantaha. Gita Press does not say Gachantaha, says Icchantaha. And every other book, Maniprabha, Advaita Sharada, Anandagiri, everybody says Gachantaha. So Swami Paramarthanandaji says that Icchantaha is a spelling mistake, likely. Gachantaha, we'll leave it like that. Okay. Dandramyamanaha means what? Gachantaha. They are people who move about, who are involved in what kind of stuff? Atyartham Kutilam Aneka Rupam Gatin. They wander. Aneka Rupam Gatin. They wander in various pursuits. Either they're happy or not happy, we don't know, but they keep on wandering, this and that they do. And Atyartham Kutila. Kutila means crooked. Crooked, not at all straightforward. It's all crooked, it seems. Zigzag. And so Atyartha, not Atyanta, Atyartha. Atyartha means very crooked. Today I want this, then after some time I want something else. The same person cannot make up the mind as to what I want. Even within that dharmartha kama, I can't make up because artha is so vast. Security you can get, artha, any type of assets you can get. Now my father is asking me, what is this digital currency? And I had to admit to him that wait, I will try to read about it and then let you know, because I even I'm not sure what this digital currency is. And before I tell you anything, let me first figure it out. I thought my currency was already digital, but maybe it's not digital. Okay. I was reading a video. They say they can track your money. So if the government is, let's say the central government is allotting some X billion dollars or X crores of rupees for a project to construct highways, okay, from one city to other city, and giving this money to states, they can actually track the money, it seems. How much money is given, what for it is spent, everything they can track, it seems. This is the rough idea I got as one of the benefits of this digital currency. Anyway, we can talk about it later. So that that kind of, therefore it is aneka rupa. Endless it is. Endless. They say the world is progressing. And what do they really mean by that? They mean more and more rupas are coming. More and more things that you never saw before. Dad, do you know what a smartphone is? Look at our lives. These days we can do the touch of a button, you can do all these things. Aneka Rupam, no doubt about that. Is tomorrow going to be different than today? Most likely, yes. Definitely, yes. Aneka Rupam. And they say, I'm getting calls. They said our children are just, they're not studying. Their attention span is reducing, it seems. Attention span is reducing. Why? Because there are so many toys, and the schools are also finding it difficult to keep these children's attention focused on the studies and what is to be studied, etc. So that's very clear. So many attractive things are going on. Therefore, aneka rupam gatim gachantaha. And then what? Pariyanti. Yeah, pariyanti is parigachanti. They of course same meaning. Parigachanti. Moving about and carried away by what? Jara, Marana, Rogadi, Dukkhi. Okay, you do stuff, but what do you do things for? Because I want to be happy, I want to be secure. Are they getting all that? Well, Jara, Marana, Rogadi, Dukkhi. Shankara says this is what they are getting. Sukha, the word Sukha is not there in this. If you notice carefully, Shankara doesn't put Sukha at all in this. What's wrong, Shankara? Sukha also we get. And Jara, old age, Marana, death, Roga, disease, etc. Fill up the blanks. He says, Dukkha, these are all what? These are all dukkha's, it seems. These are all things that nobody wants. Okay? By that, they are just carried away by this and they are stuck in this only. And who are these people? They are Mudaha. And Shankaracharya explains, helps us understand this Mudaha. Avivekinaha. We've already said that before. Those who don't have this Atma Anatma Viveka, they are called Mudaha. Muhdatu Tapratyaya. Bahuvachanam. Karanta Pullingam. And then what? And then example. Example given by Yama. Andhenaiva. Andhenaiva means just as. Let's go to the other forward. Andhaha is the word there. Like blind people. Andhaha is the main word there. Like Yatha Bahavaha Andaha. Just as many blind people. Okay? Just as many blind people are what? Niyamanaha. Niyamanaha. Nidhatu. Niyamana. To lead. Are led by blind people. Sorry, blind people are led by whom? Andhena eva. Andhena eva. By a blind person. One blind person is enough. You don't need to follow many blind people. Okay, just one leader you need, and the person is blind. And Shankaracharya, in his all compassion, he's explained to us what is a blind person. Drishta vihinena eva. Vihina means bereft of, absent of, a drishti. drishtibihi. Absent of sight. He doesn't have to say this at all. He doesn't have to say this at all. But he's in a good mood, I think. So drishtibihi dena niyamanaha. And where are they carried away? Vishame pathi. Vishama. Now, Vishama is a very interesting word. Visham and all we say in Tamil, we have a word called Visham. I think it may have come from here. Visham means poison. Poison. So, Vishame Pathi. Pathi, path. In a path which is dangerous. Dangerous paths. Because why it is dangerous? Mahantam anartham richanti. Because Mahantam anartham. Tragedy can strike any time. Richanti means they gain great tragedies. That is why it is Vishame Pathi. Because the blind led by blind people. This is example given. So that if you imagine that example is giving, then that is very clear. Tragedy is just about to happen any time, just waiting to happen. That is the example he gives here. So what happened in this mantra? He is talking about those samsara bhajana, those people who are in this prayo marga. What is their lot? They are like the blind people led by the blind. They're going to meet one tragedy after another. That's what he's saying here. Swayam dhiraha also. Because they consider themselves to be dhiraha, this is a big problem. At least if I say, there is so much for me to know, that's it. That attitude is enough. So that I can someday, somewhere, by some stroke of my own karma, punya karma, I will get exposed to Shreya Margaha. But because here they are saying Swayam Dhiraha, they will go to heaven and then there they will study Bhagavad Gita, and where Krishna is going to say, Kshine Punya Martyalokam Vishanti, after your punya is getting exhausted, you are going to go back to Martyaloka and they are going to say, what? We just came from Martyaloka all the way to Swargaloka. So it is. You did not pay attention. Swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. You thought you knew everything. Some little, if you had entertained a little bit respect for people like Vedantis who are all teaching online, your life would have been saved. You could have this coming all the way to Swarga and then going back to this Martyaloka and then again attending Zoom classes. You are wasting your time. You can enjoy. Good. You can go home and tell people. Even that you can't say. You can't go to earth and then you can say, I went to Swarga also. You can't say because that memory will not be there. So, this is how life is. Okay? So, let's look at the Anvaya. What is the main sentence in this mantra? Look at this. Mudaha pariyanti. Okay, Mudaha pariyanti. Underline those two words. That is the main sentence. Okay. Mudaha is the noun. Okay, avivekinaha, correct? And then what are the adjectives to this mudaha? Vartamanaha, manyamanaha, dandramyamanaha. So, vartamanaha, manyamanaha, dandramyamanaha, mudaha, pariyanti. That's it. That is the main sentence. Rest will follow. Correct? Yatha, andena, eva, etc. You can add up. So, the way I have written it is like this. Within brackets, yetu avidyayam antare vartamanaha. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha. Now, begin quotation. Vayam in brackets. Dhiraha panditam. Quotation close. End quotation. Dhiraha panditam. Panditam within brackets you can say panditaha because it has to be in Bahuvachanam. Shankaracharya says Vayam dhiraha panditaha. inverted commas, close, quotation close, iti within brackets, swayam manyamanaha, comma, te dandramyamanaha moodaha, te within brackets, te dandramyamanaha moodaha, pariyanti, pariyanti, comma, yatha, यथा अन्धेनैव नीयमानाः अन्धेनैव नीयमानाः अन्धाः पर्यन्ति in brackets यथा अन्धेनैव नीयमानाः अन्धाः within brackets पर्यन्ति, just as blind people led by the blind grope in darkness, grope in samsara. So let me repeat that. ये तु अविद्यायाम् अंतरे वर्तमानाः, comma if you want you can say that, then vayam dhiraha panditam panditaha iti swayam manyamanaha, comma te dandramyamanaha moodaha pariyanti yatha andhenaiva niyamanaha andhaha pariyanti. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।